For those things. If we can fix it here in the office and take care of it, we do it at no charge. Hearing's important to us, and we want to make sure that you're hearing the best that you can.
Yeah, and it's very clear when we've been watching you that you really do love what you do, and your patients are so comfortable with you. Tell us where you are and how to get help if people need it.
I'm at 485 North Main Street in Logan, and you can give us a call at 753-HEAR, H-E-A-R, or 4327.
Okay. So if you do think you're losing your hearing just a little bit, like some of us of that certain age, come on down and see Dr. Daines and he'll sort you right out. Thank you. So you're really big supporters of Logan High School sports here, Fernando, at the factory. What would you like to invite them to do?
You know, I want to invite all the kids and the parents. You know, sometimes they have late games and there's no place to eat. And we be here to open late if we need to. If they come up to the game, we just need to mention the TheValleyChannel, and we keep a good special for the group. So anytime they want to have a pizza after the game or nachos, you feel free to come in the factory and we'd be well to keep it a good deal.
Anytime. When there's a game on, doesn't matter if it's Logan High or anywhere in the Valley, right? You'll be here for them after the game.
Yeah, you know, we're here for Ridgeline, Mount Crest, or Logan High. Whatever people want to come, we give us a call. We stay late for them and we'd be happy to serve after hours.
Okay, what a treat after a game. Thanks, Fernando.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys for the support and thank you for everything.
We started Palmer Home Furnishings 17 years ago on 10th West, and we started Mountain Ridge Furniture a couple years ago out here on the highway in Providence. And recently, kind of out of the blue, not really planned, we had somebody purchase our building on 10th West. The result was for us to merge the two businesses and bring it all into one out here in Providence. 3 blocks south of Macy's out here on the highway. You can't miss it. If you drive on the highway in Providence, you can't miss it.
Hey guys, if you've been thinking about a guitar or any other instrument in mind for you or somebody else, we have some great financing options from 6 to 12 months. Yamaha's doing a 12-month plan right now. Come in, get some time to pay it off, and have no interest for up to a year.
Vehicle won't start? We can fix that. Not running right? We can fix that. Won't stop? We can fix that. Auto Evolution, honest service at a fair price on Airport Road.
Hi guys, Valley. This is Fernando over the Factory Pizzeria. We're running a special right now. We're giving out free nachos when you buy a large pizza with 3 toppings. Just mention this out and you're gonna get a free nachos every time you come. The factory pizzeria is located in 119 South Main, below the Gia's in the basement. Come see as soon as you can. Thank you.
So, you bought your computer from one of those big box stores, or online, and now it's really slow, or just not working right.
Target acquired.
PCs Unlimited can fix it. Fixing computers is what we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. Service, repair, diagnostics, networking, upgrades, system and data recovery, all your computer needs. Our prices are low, and our customer service is the best. You won't get help from the big box or online. Come see the professionals at PCs Unlimited.
I like Anderson's because they have beautiful selections of fresh flowers. They're family owned and been in business for a long time, and they make you feel like part of the family.
Wendy's is saying thanks for making the Junior Bacon Cheeseburger America's #1 bacon cheeseburger by giving you more of what you love. Introducing Wendy's Giant Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. Double the beef, double the bacon, and now it comes in a giant meal for $5 with nuggets, fries, and a drink. There's absolutely nothing junior about it, except the price. Get Wendy's $5 Giant Junior Bacon Cheeseburger meal before it's gone.
Over the period of time, my hearing became worse and worse.
Over the course of the years, I developed a hearing loss, and I would not be able to hear my employees talk to me sometimes.
For Paul Dayton's and Cache Valley's integrity, his character, his background, his equipment, I would recommend him to anyone for a hearing aid specialist.
We have broken the sound barrier and pioneered new paths to space. But where is that new frontier? What barriers will we break next? Every day, we are given the opportunity to sign our name to history. Just close your eyes and look inside. You are that new frontier. I'm General Mark Welch. These are my heroes, and we are American Airmen.
Wait, hun?
Not enough space for the big guy and the love of your life? That's a donation waiting to happen.
Nothing personal.
At Deseret Industries, your donations make great things happen, like forklift training for people like Walter. See how at newlifeforpeople.org.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
I'm IFIT trainer Regan Pierce and Kia ora. Welcome to the Riederalp region of Switzerland.
This is a time crunch workout. Let's go.
Resistance going up even more.
I'll take it up for you, actually. How about that? Here we go. Pick it up. 110 RPM. 3, 2, 1, break away.
Try your best. Let's go.
Come on, charge ahead. Push.
To 10. To 10. Feel a change.
Up out of the saddle. Really pump.
I'm your iFit trainer. Thanks for joining me on this interval workout. We'll see you next time.
Nobody does bacon like Wendy's. And now, we're bringing you the Big Bacon Classic, made with fresh, never frozen beef, topped with hot and crispy bacon. So if you're not getting your bacon cheeseburger from Wendy's, what are you getting? If you want bacon done right, we got you with the Big Bacon Classic. What are you waiting for?
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Daines at Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Times are tough right now. We understand that, and with all the things that are going on, it makes it very hard for people to get in to see us to have help with their hearing aids. If your hearing aids aren't working, we'd be glad to have you come into the office. Our office is technically closed, but we do have a drop box that we are receiving hearing aids and having them, we're cleaning them, fixing them, and sending them back out through a pickup box. We also have a drive-up service, so we can come out to your car and pick up your hearing aids. We want to make sure that you're being taken care of in this time of need. And it's not all bad. At least I get to grow a beard.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
We started Palmer Home Furnishings 17 years ago on 10th West, and we started Mountain Ridge Furniture a couple years ago out here on the highway in Providence. And recently, kind of out of the blue, not really planned, we had somebody purchase our building on 10th West. The result was for us to merge the two businesses and bring it all into one out here in Providence. 3 blocks south of Macy's out here on the highway. You can't miss it. If you drive on the highway in Providence, you can't miss it.
Dr. Cameron, what do you think it is that puts people off from coming in to see a dentist?
Well, a few reasons, but first is fear. That's one that we hear quite often when people come in that they haven't been for a very long time. They're afraid that something's going to hurt. They're afraid it's going to cost more than they can afford. So fear of a couple things, or just pain. General fear of the unknown. I don't know, is this a big deal? Is it not a big deal? Do I need to do something now? Right. All the fear and the unknown.
Yeah. And so how do you deal with that?
So first, from the fear perspective, we want to try to make sure people know that we're going to be looking at what you want and how we can help you. Okay. That relates to making you comfortable while in the dental office, whether you just need us to talk through things with you so that you understand what to expect, whether you may need some laughing gas or some sedation. We can do all of those things, provide all those options so that whatever you need, we'll be able to take care of you. Yeah. So that's addressing that fear. The other part is the fear of the affordability of what you need done. And that's why we've got multiple options for people, depending on your situation and what makes sense and what you need, so that we can try to break things up for you, spread it out, make it so that it's got to be something that's affordable for you to do. Yeah. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
Right. Yeah. So, any kind of problems that you might have, be it fear of the unknown or you're a bit scared of pain or anything, come on down here and see Dr. Cameron and the guys at Aspen Dental. Thanks, Dr. Cameron.
Thank you.
Your trainer is here.
Let's do this. Let's go, let's go. Follow me. Good strides, good strides. Come on, push. All right, guys, that warm-up's over. Now it's time to turn it up a notch. Raise those knees, hold strong, core, let's go.
Squeeze those biceps, keep those abs in tight.
You got a little resistance for a reason, let's use it. You're doing great. You gotta see this. Did someone order up some incline? Because here it comes. Finish this thing strong. Stay with me, push it. Then 3, 2. We're almost at the finish line. And rest. Beautiful work. That was an amazing workout. We'll see you next time.
We've got an interstate rivalry tonight going on at Logan as the Grizzlies play host to the Highland Rams out of Pocatello. Highland, one of the top programs in 5A in Idaho. In fact, they lost to the eventual state champions in a pretty good semifinal game last year. They're a team that likes to run the ball, 211 yards per game on average last year. But this year, they're coming off a nasty beating in the hands of the Skyview Bobcats, 45-0. So they're going to be hurting, and they're going to be a little mad, and they're going to want to take it out on the Logan Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are a team that came this close to winning their opener here against Provo. A late touchdown foiled that. But then last week, with some game-time heroics and just a great performance all around, the Grizzlies went on the road and beat Cypress 31-28. They've got great receivers, and that Grizzly offense can be fun to watch. It's the Rams and the Grizzlies coming up next on the Game of the Week.
Push-ups are getting hard.
So Coach Bowen was asked about his team. They lost a lot of guys from a team that went 3-8 last year. In that 3-8 season, though, they easily could have won 3 or 4 more games because those games they lost by less than a touchdown. But they lost a bunch of players. And so when asked about his offense and his defense, he's saying that, hey, it starts up front. We've got a young offensive line. We got 3 underclassmen we have to plug in there. If those guys can get in the run blocking game, and if those guys can give our quarterback some time to throw, we could be in business because the receiving core for this team is very good. Jalen Sargent, the marquee player on the offensive side of the ball. So if there's time to throw for the quarterbacks, we could see some fireworks. On defense, that 3-3-5 defensive look, solid front 3, very solid back 5. Again, like their wide receiver core, and it's a lot of the same players. Their defensive backfield looks good. It's the linebackers that are the question mark. So those middle 3 in that 3-3-5 defense, I think the season will go as they go. Up front and in the middle. Up front on offense, in the middle on defense. The big question marks for the Grizzlies this year. Let's see how it plays out tonight against the Highland Rams.
Say the word base. Say the word mess.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food, it's Wendy's. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you have been missing. Palmer Home Furnishings, our low overhead means higher quality at lower prices. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. Custom Fence Company, privacy, security, peace of mind. Anderson Seed and Garden, growing better gardeners. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. KSM means music. Music is all we do. The Factory Pizzeria, we're open late after the game. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 30 years.
they have beautiful selections of fresh flowers. They're family owned and been in business for a long time, and they make you feel like part of the family.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. I'm Eric Olson along with you tonight as we're at Crimson Field on the campus of Logan High School, where the Logan Grizzlies at 1-2 will take on a 1-1 Highland Rams out of Pocatello, Idaho. Highland's one of the top 5A programs up there in Idaho. They're 8-4 last year. Last year in week 2 they beat Ridgeline, and they've been coming, or they didn't come down here for that game. This is the first time they've been down to the Valley. They told me since in the early 2000s when they came down and played Skyview in a game we always also did on the Game of the Week. And Taysom Hill was the quarterback in that game, and I remember thinking, gosh, this kid can play. That's back when he had a offer at Stanford and had agreed to take that one before he ended up changing that over to BYU. They lost in the 5A semis to Coeur d'Alene last year. They're in the High Country Conference with Rigby, Madison, and Thunder Ridge out of Idaho Falls. You know, last year they averaged 211 yards a game on the ground. They were a running team. Skyview held them to 58 yards on the ground last week, 154 total. Highland's going to be ready to play some football tonight, and they are big and they are talented. Logan, on the other hand, coming off a 3-8 season last year, 5th in Region 11. They were the 16 seed. They got to play a playoff game and won here against Ogden, then lost in the second round to Park City. 3 of those 8 losses were by 5 points or less. They averaged 25 points a game last year, but gave up 33. And this year, a lot of the talk is about the Logan defense. And hey, this is going to be a pretty good defense if the offense can catch up. And the offense led by Cody Kirk, the junior. He's a junior transfer, actually out of Ridgeline area. And one of the other players that they're really looking at is Matt Mason, who came from Payson. Mason from Payson has really added to their defense, 14.5 tackles a game, but he's slowly working his way into more time on the offense as a running back. So we'll see what we see from him tonight. Logan lost to Provo 14-7, lost at Stansbury 38-6, but then beat Cypress 31-28 last week. And speaking of Highland and teams won and lost, they lost to Skyview 45-0 last week. Their first shutout since as far back as I could see on the records, and I went back about 20 years. And they beat Thunder Ridge of Idaho Falls 38-12. They're ranked 4th in 5A in Idaho. Their head coach Gino Mariani out of the Dirk Cutter coaching tree. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We're going to take a quick break and come back with the kickoff. You're watching the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel.
Wendy's is saying thanks for making the Junior Bacon Cheeseburger America's #1 bacon cheeseburger by giving you more of what you love. Introducing Wendy's Giant Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. Double the beef, double the bacon, and now it comes in a giant meal for $5 with nuggets, fries, and a drink. There's absolutely nothing junior about it, except the price. Get Wendy's $5 Giant Junior Bacon Cheeseburger meal before it's gone.
Moreno tees it up for the Grizzlies, and we're just about ready to get underway here at Logan High School on a warm September evening. Moreno with a short kick, going to bounce at the 10 and stay in bounds. And Logan, one of the players thinking they came up with it, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Now, they say no, that's Highland ball, but it's on the 15-yard line. That's where Highland will start. They've been going back and forth with quarterbacks. Jack Whitmer and Easton Durham taking turns playing quarterback. Let's see who it is. If it's 4, it's Durham. If it's 14, it's Whitmer. And it looks like it's Durham. It is Durham, and he's going to hand it inside. And a pretty good run on first down by DiMuzio. Caleb DiMuzio
Handoff to Caleb DiMuzio.
picking up about 7.
Gain of 8 on the play. Tackled by number 24.
And that's what Highland wants to do. We mentioned Taysom Hill. We mentioned Dirk Cutter. There's quite a list of dignitaries of alma maters from this school. Dirk Cutter, Merrill Hodge, Taysom Hill, all of them from the Highland tree. Cutter played there and then coached there for years. His dad coached before him. As Durham keeps it, picks up 4. And a first down.
Short game play, brought down by Cam Cotter.
But this Highland team, Gino Mariani, he played up at Idaho State and he coached with the Cutters there, and he ends up being the head coach here. He's been the head coach here at Highland for close to 20 years. They use a lot of the same concepts and terminology that Dirk Cutter and his dad plugged in, and the same offense that, going along with astronomical talent, made Taysom Hill a star. 4 yards on first down to DiMuzio.
Gain of 4 on the play, brought down by Taimani Lane. Second down 6.
For Logan, they really feel like they have something in their defense. Running that 3-3-5 look. They feel good about their front 3 and their back 5. That's the middle 3 that they're hoping can take a step to make them into a really special defense. Durham with the throw across the middle. 5 yards, and it's 3rd and 1.
Brought down by Gage Atkinson. 3rd down 1.
Schumann with the catch. And it's 3rd and 1. Watching these two teams warm up, Highland is big. They've got some hogs up front. Durham's going to give it to DiMuzio. He breaks 1 tackle and then surges forward for 4 yards and a first down. Nothing special, and DiMuzio's got 3 carries, 15 yards, and it's another Highland first down. We've played 2.5 minutes, and Highland now out to their own 43-yard line with a new set of downs. Durham's going to roll out with players in his face. Hit as he throws his big tight end coming across. Mickelson's got all sorts of room. He's down to the Logan 40-yard line. 16 yards as they spot him at the 41. Now Highland in business on the Grizzlies side of the field. Mickelson, the tight end to the near side. 3 receivers to the far side. They're going to give again to DiMuzio. DiMuzio's got a big hole, and he's inside the 30. 14 yards for DiMuzio. Huge hole for him up front.
First down round.
31 yards rushing on this series. The opening series for Highland, they only had 54 yards rushing the entire game last week. Durham. 4 wide receiver look. He's going to look inside, and his receiver wasn't looking for the ball. Hiram Brinton looked like maybe he was going to block out there as he ran right into one of the Grizzly defenders. That's 2nd and 10. And for the first time on this drive, Highland's behind the sticks. DiMuzio back into the ballgame. He's a big running back. And again, 3 to the left, and Mickelson stands up to the right side. They're going to run the draw to DiMuzio. He's going to pick up about 5. It'll be 3rd and 5.
DiMuzio on the carry, brought down by Matthew Mason. Gain of 4 on the play. 3rd down.
Matt Mason with the tackle. We mentioned him earlier, 14.5 tackles per game. He had 18 last week against Cyprus. The transfer out of Payson, 5A Payson. It's going to be closer to third and closer to 6. Mickelson's in tight this time. They're playing man up on the very far edge, and that's where they look. Ball's delivered in the right place, and it's a first down. As Jackson Schumann comes up with the grab. He picked up 8 on 3rd and 6. 2 for 2 on 3rd down now for Highland on this drive. Ball at the 16-yard line of Logan. 7:20 to play in the first quarter, as this drive has chewed up nearly 5 minutes. Now Mickelson splits short side of the field, which is the left side, and 3 receivers wide. DeMuzio in the backfield as Durham decides to keep. He pitches back to DeMuzio, who's got the edge. DeMuzio cuts inside, touchdown.
Pitch to DeMuzio, and that's touchdown for Highland.
Option run to perfection by Durham. DeMuzio with the 16-yard touchdown run, and it's 6-0 Highland. Five minutes and 1 second on an 85-yard drive, 50 yards worth by DeMuzio on the ground. Hershey on for the PAT, and it's good. 7-0 with 6:59 to play in the first quarter. Highland strikes first. 7-0 Highland with the early lead after the 85-yard touchdown drive. Methodical, 2 third-down conversions, 7 rushes, 3 passes. And Highland leads 7-0. Highland got embarrassed last week by Skyview. They were able to stop Skyview's running game early, but couldn't stop the pass, so we'll see what Cody Kirk and the Logan offense can do against Highland, if they come out slinging it, or what the game plan will be. One guy to watch for is number 8, Jalen Sargent. Jalen Sargent, 144 all-purpose yards last week at Cyprus. 104 of them receiving, 40 on returns. Bunch formation to the near side, 1 receiver to the far side. I think it's Mason in the backfield. It is. See if they run a little screen out to him in that diamond. That's what they're going to do. Mason. Got room, good blocking by his receivers, and Mason scampers out across the 29 to the 30-yard line and a first down.
Matthew Mason with the ball. Pushed out of bounds by Easton Rudd. First down Grizzlies.
$10 yards and a first down, and Mason back in the backfield with Kirk. And now 2-by-2 for the receivers. Kirk unloads. Sargent's got a lot of room ahead of him, and he pulls it in. Kirk let him a little much, or it's an easy 6, but as it is, it's 20, 30, 42 yards and a first down. Sargent just blew by the defender and had 7 yards on him. And he stretched out for the grab. Mason in motion. They're trying to get him around the edge, being pursued and thrown down. And a flag comes out. They're going to call a horse collar tackle on Cody Colvin. He had Mason around the back of the pads, and if he was inside the pads, they're not messing around the last 2 or 3 years with that call. Even if it just looks like it, they're calling it. And that's what they're calling. So instead of a loss of a couple, it's going to be a first down after a 15-yard mark-off. First penalty of the game on either squad.
That's a 15-yard penalty and first down.
So just like that, the Grizzly offense is in business in the red zone on the 17-yard line. They're going to give to Mason, and he's going to pick up a yard.
Mason with the carry, short gain on the play.
He sent Trujillo in motion. You know, taking a look and seeing what your defense is doing with that motion going around. And now Mason will come off the field. Three receivers to the near side. Sargent, the bottom of your screen, a little dig pattern, and out of bounds goes the receiver. First and goal for Logan. Gage Jensen with 10 yards, and it's first and goal. Cody Kirk, this junior, looking sharp here early. He's thrown 7 interceptions this season. They're trying to cut those down, and this one went to nobody, and there's flags everywhere. See if we've got a pick by the offense or a hold by the defense. What's it going to be? They're running these groups with the receivers out there. Man, it's hard as a defensive back. These guys are coming off, and they've got an ineligible man downfield on Logan.
Illegal receiver downfield for the Grizzlies.
Man, that's hard on a quick hitter. You got a man downfield on a quick hitter like that. That's a 5-yard penalty.
First and goal.
And it's first and goal at the 11 for the Grizzlies. Sargent. And Jensen to this side. Trujillo in motion. Now he's inside. And the give up the middle. Down inside to the 9-yard line.
Alex 2 with the carry. Short gain on the play. Brought down by Sloan Lamson. Second and goal from the 9.
We didn't see who that was, but that's 2 yards. I think it was Alex Tew. Second and goal from the 9. Tew motions out of the backfield, screen. Here comes everybody. Great blocking out in front. Touchdown, Logan. No flags. Kellen Roper with the grab and the run. Well executed by the Grizzlies. They opened the gates and the Rams came running through. And there was all sorts of room in the middle. Moreno on for the PAT. It's up, it's good. We're tied at 7 with 5:03 to play in the first quarter. Got a good one in the early going here at Logan.
started Palmer Home Furnishings 17 years ago on 10th West, and we started Mountain Ridge Furniture a couple years ago out here on the highway in Providence. And recently, kind of out of the blue, not really planned, we had somebody purchase our building on 10th West. The result was for us to merge the two businesses and bring it all into one out here in Providence. 3 blocks south of Macy's out here on the highway. You can't miss it. If you drive on the highway in Providence, you can't miss it.
Kellen Roper, the tight end, with the 9-yard touchdown grab as the Grizzlies call the screenplay on 2nd and goal from the 9. And it worked to perfection, and the Grizzlies tie it up. Took them a minute and 56 seconds. 42-yard pass play from Kirk to Sargent, the key play on the drive. This one's going to be kicked by Moreno down to the 5-yard line. Returned out to about the 23 by Adam Jones, and that's where Highland will take over. Cody Kirk was 4 for 4 for 71 yards and a touchdown on that drive. Only 2 rushing plays. 6 plays. Durham back on the field. And he's looking to throw. Downfield, he's got a man wide open, grabbed out there by Barella, and Barella out across the 50-yard line. He came all the way across the field. 30 yards. I mean, he was all alone. He came all the way across and just found a dead spot, and there was a couple of Grizzlies looking at each other after the play and shrugging their shoulders like, wait, what? Who you got? Don't you? Why? DiMuzio's going to carry. Has to make a move in the backfield to get past Dean, but ends up picking up about 6. DiMuzio's averaging 8 yards a carry, 56 yards on 7 carries, including the 16-yard touchdown. 7, 4, 4, 14, 5, 16, and 6. The only other Ram to touch the ball on a rush has been Durham. He picked up 4 yards. They're going to flip it inside to Schumann. Schumann has the edge, turns the corner, pushed out of bounds after he gets the 30-yard line, a 10-yard gain.
Schumann pushed out of bounds by Joshua Thompson. First down, Highland.
So Highland running like a clock, man, tick, tick. With 4:04 to play in the first quarter there on the Logan 30 in a tie ball game, 7 apiece here at Logan. Week 4 of Utah high school football season. Here comes a blitz. Durham's waiting. DiMuzio tips it to himself. They set up a screen just like Logan did. Durham waited forever until Durham finally came free and turned around. It's a 5-yard gain. Good job by Durham just to be patient.
Second down.
And it's 2nd and 5. Three receivers to the near side. Mickelson, the lone receiver at tight end on the short side of the field. They're going to throw the little swing pass out to Parrish. Parrish in space, stepping out of tackles, spinning around and being forced down at about the 5-yard line, a 20-yard gain.
Big gain on the play, brought down by Cam Carter. First and goal, Highland.
5 different receivers have caught a pass from Durham. He's 6 of 7 for 84 yards. First and goal at the 5. 3.5 to play in this first quarter. Durham fakes the pitch, rolls out. Looking for something, and he goes down. The official was almost screened out of there, but Durham got caught. And is it Tupelo? It was not. It was Kamani Lang, the sophomore, with the big loss of 15 yards. The first sack of the ball game for either defense. Logan's averaging about 2 sacks a game defensively. And it's 2nd and goal at the 21. DiMuzio, the lone back with Durham. And a flag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Delay a game. Logan had enough players, and it's a delay a game on Highland. So Highland with their 2nd penalty of the quarter. Back them up even more. 2nd and goal at the 26.
2nd and goal from the 26.
Barella's the lone receiver to this side, and DiMuzio's in the backfield. Here comes some late pressure. Durham gets rid of it, finds Schumann, and he is walloped at the 20. After a gain of 6, man, was he hit.
Pass complete to number 5, Jackson Schumann, brought down by Kaimani Lang.
It was Lang with another big hit.
Short gain on the play.
Schumann has 19 yards on 3 catches. It's now
3rd and goal from the 20.
3rd and goal from the 20. If you're Logan, you don't want to let anybody behind you. And it may be 2 down territory for Highland. They're going to run a little throwback to DiMuzio. Got a little bit of room. He tiptoes down the sideline, stays in bounds, or does he? Let's see. Touchdown, he does. On 3rd and goal from the 20, the Grizzlies come all the way to the near sideline. DiMuzio slips to the far sideline and then tiptoes down that sideline for a touchdown. .110 yards on 8 of 9 for Durham. And a touchdown. Kicks up, kicks good. 14-7 with 1:48 to play in the first. Highland back on top.
Good with your score. Highland 14, George.
Back at Logan High School, Eric Olson along with you with 1:48 to play in the first quarter. It's 14-7 Highland. We talked about that deep Highland playbook, and they're showing all sorts of looks here in this first quarter. That time they got the defense going all one way and threw back the other. And DiMuzio did the rest. On 3rd and goal from the 20, Highland scores. That's a tough one to swallow if you're the defensive coordinator. But there was nobody over there. There was a defensive end over there, and they threw that pass out, and the D end went to turn to run on an angle to try to run it down, and he had a blocker right behind him. He turned and ran right into the blocker. Somehow that blocker had gotten downfield and behind him, so when he turned, it was right in his ear. And DiMuzio did the rest. Cody Kirk and the Grizzlies come back out on the field, now trailing by a touchdown. 3 receivers to this side, 2 to the far side. Kirk's gonna loft it up, for Sargent. Way out in front of him. And Durham was playing center field on that one. He got in front of Sargent and then geared it down about 2 gears. Just kind of slowed down so Sargent couldn't get out to it without running him over. That was a good job by Durham. For Kirk, his first incompletion of the night. 4 out of 5 for 71 yards and a touchdown. A lot of offense in this first quarter. Here's Trujillo in motion. They're going to fake the give to Mason and roll this side. And it's just out of the grasp of Trujillo.
Incomplete pass intended for Alex Trujillo. 3rd down 10 for Grizzlies.
That's one thing they're working on with Cody Kirk is accuracy and getting the ball in there. He's a junior. And that time you saw he was just, he was on the move. You know, he's rolling to his left and having to throw out in front of him, but he had his man. You got to find him. It's 3rd and 10. Here's that bunch formation. They ran a screen out of it last time. They fake it this time. Go up top to Sargent, and it's broken up. The Sargent's looking back into the sun. I don't know if he knew where that one was. Broken up by Jones.
Broken up by Adam Jones.
3 and out for Logan. They're paying a lot of attention to Sargent as he runs that streak down the sideline. They ought to be able to sneak somebody across because I'm watching that. You got a corner out there and then you got the safety that's just got the number 8 written in his retinas. You should be able to sneak somebody out. A little bit of trouble with the snap by Trujillo. He finally gets it, and it's only about a 18-yard punt.
Punt down at
It's the 46-yard line, and that's where Highland takes over with a 14-7 lead, 1:22 to play in the first quarter. A first quarter that has been entertaining, but long because of all the scoring. 3 touchdowns, a lot of passing, a few incomplete passes. In fact, Kirk was 4 for 4 before that series. Here's DiMuzio on the delay. DiMuzio still running out to the 40-yard line. 14 yards, first down Highland.
Hand off to DiMuzio.
DiMuzio's got 70 yards rushing. He may get 200 yards rushing tonight if he keeps running like that. They are opening holes for him. And he is running through people. He is a big running back. Highland is big up front. And it's impressive that Skyview beat this team 45-0 last week. Impressive if you're Skyview. Logan's hanging with them. It's 14-7 with 54 seconds to play here in this first quarter. But Highland is driving at the Logan 40-yard line as we've got a timeout on the field. Logan coming into this game averaging about 71 yards per game rushing. Highland averaging 99 yards per game rushing. They're almost to that here in the first quarter. 177 yards passing for the Grizzlies, 248 total. Highland averages 162.5 passing yards a game, 261 total. Highland's been scoring about 19 points a game, Logan about 15. Jack Whitmer's been their leader passing, but I noticed last week it was a lot of East and Durham, and I don't know if he's been hurt and hasn't played as much, but he's been the guy tonight, and he started showing up in the stat line quite a bit last week. First and 10, they're going to run a little screen out to the edge. And Jackson Schumann's getting a lot of work here in the early going. He's got 6 yards as he kept going. He had a guy around his ankle, and nobody came over to finish him off. And Schumann's got 25 yards on 4 catches. Durham is 9 of 10, 116 yards and a touchdown. A lot of little short stuff, and then guys doing the job after with yards after catch. Fake the toss, give to DiMuzio. Boy, they sealed that off, and he's got another huge hole. You don't have to be a big bruising runner when you can just run right down an alley.
First down, Highland.
I think Logan's going to take another timeout. 16 yards for DiMuzio. He's at 86 yards rushing on 9 carries in the first quarter. Durham's got 116 yards. And this is a Logan defense that, yeah, they gave up a lot of points last year, but this year they've been pretty solid. And Highland is just doing whatever they want. 8 seconds to play here in this first quarter. Logan doesn't want to get into a scoring battle with Highland. To get down 2 touchdowns to a team that can just control the clock like the Rams, that's deep trouble. The Grizzlies had them on 3rd and goal from the 20 on their last possession, and Highland scored anyway. Fake the give to DiMuzio. Max protect and look down the sidelines. 3 players there, lots of contact, and it's incomplete. Hunter Hulsman was the intended receiver. The defensive back tapped it out of there, and the safety came over and had a chance, but couldn't come up with it. I think he might have been out of bounds anyway if he would have. It's 2nd and 10 from the 19.
Second down line.
Again, DiMuzio on the backfield, Mickelson back there with him as well. They're going to give to DiMuzio on the delay. He runs around the left side. He's got a lead blocker, and he's got another touchdown. I mean, there was nobody home over there. They collapsed that right side of the defensive line and just sealed it off. And they're making huge lanes for DiMuzio. 19 yards and a touchdown. He's over 100 for the night at 105 in the first quarter. And that's his 2nd touchdown. And that was the last play of the quarter, so after the PAT, we'll take a timeout. Whitmer holds for Hershey. Kicks up, kicks good. 21-7, Highland in front as we head for the second quarter.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
Volleyball team for the win over Kearns last night. They'll be
Back at Logan High School, 21-7. Highland near perfect in that first quarter. 105 yards rushing. Let's see, 115, 104 yards rushing total as a team. 105 by DiMuzio. A 15-yard sack is the only thing that brought them down. But Durham had 2 carries for -11. One was a 15-yard sack. Durham is 8 of 11 for 116 yards and a touchdown. And Highland's doing everything right. The Grizzlies had a nice first drive, but went 3 and out on their second possession. 3 straight incomplete passes. Hershey's going to kick this one off, and Sargent's going to get a chance at it at the 5. Sargent looking for an opening. Not much of one as he picks his way up to about the 18 or 19. Let's see where they spot him before he was pushed backwards. They're going to give him the 19-yard line, and
First down Grizzlies.
that's where Cody Kirk is going to take over with this Logan offense. The screen game worked on that first drive. They ran a couple of screens. They threw the bomb to Sargent. They tried that bomb twice to Sargent on the second drive. Couldn't find him either time. Now they go underneath. Gage Jensen out to the 26. It's a gain of 7.
Gage Jensen. Brought down by Adam Jones. Second down business.
Kirk's 5 of 8 for 78 yards. So not a bad start for him either. And again, 3 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side. That means 5 guys blocking 6. Nope, they drop 2 of the linebackers back. They go to Jensen again underneath. And you know, that's what you just need to do, is be patient and take what they give you.
Cody Kirk's pass complete to Gage Jensen.
11 yards and another first down.
First down Grizzlies.
They're worried about that stuff over the top, and you ought to be able to dink and dunk all night long until they start creeping up. Then you take a shot again. You just have to be patient. 5 wide once again. Kirk throwing it, whoa, through a tight window. Was that Jensen or was that Sargent? 12 yards. Sargent caught it. And I don't know how Kirk got that one in there. 101 yards now for Kirk. Sargent, 2 catches, 54 yards. And Sargent turned his head. That one was there, whizzed right past the shoulder of the defender, who was so preoccupied with Sargent he hadn't turned to look for the ball. And again, they go with that 5 wide look. They hand off on a little end around, and that one's going to gain a yard, but man, it looked like it was nothing doing.
Alex 2 on the carry.
It was 2. Gained a yard, and that was the hardest yard that kid's ever going to run for.
Second down business.
I think he got hit by every player on Highland's team and the team bus. 2nd and 9. Kirk delivers, and it's a catch short of the first down.
That's complete to Gage Jensen.
But Gage Jensen picks up 8.
Third down 1 for the Grizzlies.
It'll be 3rd and a yard. About 1.5 yards. See if maybe they run Kirk on this one or if they throw it. And a timeout called. No, a flag. Somebody moved for Logan. Their second penalty of the night. You know, after last week, that was a penalty fest. Ridgeline with 15 accepted penalties in that game. And Farmington, I believe, had 8. So a lot of penalties in that one. This one has started out fairly penalty-free. Not penalty-free, but fairly penalty-free. 2 penalties on each team. 9:30 to play here in the half. They're going to load up top. And this one thrown out of bounds by Kirk. You got to give your receiver a chance. He just wafted it a little bit to the outside. He was looking for Jalen Hoth. And it sailed on him and out of bounds. Hoth had no chance because the thing was 4 yards out of bounds. So they'll have to punt. Will the Grizzlies, after a promising drive bogs down at the Highland 43-yard line. Trujillo kicks it away. Takes a good bounce and rolls down to the 5-yard line. 43 yards on the punt.
Alex Trujillo's punt is down to the 5.
And Highland leads 21-7. They'll take over at their own 5-yard line. Got a big game going on the other side of the mountain tonight. Box Elder and Bear River. One of the hottest rivalries in the state going on over there. No score in that one yet that we've heard of. Morgan's beating Green Canyon at home 13-0, and Bonneville leads Mountain Crest 7-0. Both those games in the early going. We got a new quarterback in there. It's Whitmer.
And off to Caleb DeMuzio.
Whitmer hands it off to DeMuzio. He picks up 5. And now Durham back in. Now Durham runs off. So Durham plays both ways. And Whitmer's played a lot this season, so why not? Whitmer, the junior. And the way they've been running the ball, they're not asking a ton of Whitmer, but he's back to pass now. And he throws it just wide of Hunter Hulsman, who got a hand on it. But it'll be 3rd and 4 after the incomplete pass. See if they bring Durham back on for 3rd down. No, they're going to keep Whitmer in there and get him some reps. Again, they're controlling the line of scrimmage. You got a back that's averaging about 8 yards a carry. You just turn and hand it to DeMuzio, right? And that's what they do. DeMuzio has an opening, has a 1st down, out to the 22-yard line. Check that. He's out to the 18-yard line. 6 yards on 3rd down. Three wide receivers to the right side for Whitmer. He's going to roll that way. Stops, fires. A little bit high and a big hit administered out there to Schumann.
Pass broken up by Jacob Tett.
Tett gets out there and really put a hit on Schumann. 2nd and 10. Whitmer on the season, 22 of 31, 235 yards, 71%, 162 yards a game. 4 touchdowns and 3 picks are his numbers as a quarterback. And they're going to throw that little screen out there to Schumann and give him a chance to run with the ball, and he picks up 9 yards, 3rd and 1. It also gets Whitmer
Number 5, Jackson Schumann. Jalen Sargent on the tackle.
Reception. Sees the ball caught, might heat him up a little bit. Oh, they're going to say that's a 1st down. Okay.
1st down, Highland.
So 1st down. Highland. And Whitmer stays on at quarterback. DeMuzio behind him. He's in that little pistol look. They're going to run the option, pitch it out to DeMuzio. He's got the edge. He's got the 1st down and more, and a flag in the backfield back at the 29. So hang on. Holding on Highland.
Flag on the play.
Well, negates a good run by DeMuzio. And now it's 1st down and 17. Whitmer back on, and this time Durham comes on with him. And Durham's going to split wide to this near side. He's listed as a quarterback, wide receiver, and DB. They're going to throw to Durham on the little screen, and there's nowhere for him to go. He's taken down back at the 16-yard line, a loss of 4. J.J. Sargent in there.
2nd down, 17 for the Rams.
So they're back at the 16. Oh, they spotted him clear up at the, he spun backwards, so he did catch it and get forward to about the 18. They've got to get out to the 37-yard line, so they need about 19 yards for a first down. It's second down. Muzio's going to split out. Whitmer over the middle, up in the air and falls incomplete. 3 people had a chance at that. Now Whitmer put some mustard on that hot dog. Whizzed right through everybody as the sun
Third down 20 for Highland.
goes down here in Logan. The field completely in shadows, and it's 3rd and 19. Whitmer got time, unloads, has a man wide open. It's Schumann. Once again, the Grizzlies on 3rd and long can't make a stop. It was Barella.
Big gain in the play, brought down by Matthew Mason.
39 yards on 3rd and long. And the Grizzlies defensively just cannot get off the field. Barella 2 catches, 69 yards. And Highland 5 of 5 on 3rd down. 5:40 to play in the first half. Highland started this drive at their own 5-yard line. They're in Grizzly territory now. Whitmer, lots of time. Underneath, and this one through the hands of a would-be defender. And he flashed in front of the receiver, who lost it as well. And it's incomplete. Whitmer is 3 of 7 for 44 yards. And Highland can throw an incomplete or take a sack or some penalties, and they just don't care, because on 3rd and forever, they'll pick up forever and 1. Logan has not forced a punt yet tonight. Mickelson in the ball game, flexes out to his right. Here comes pressure. Whitmer gets out of it, looking for an opening. There is none. And he's caught clear back at the 48-yard line, a 5-yard loss and another sack for the Grizzlies.
Big loss on the play.
Third and 15. So the Grizzly defense again with a lot of space in between the sticks. See if they can make a stop. Highland has been perfect on 3rd downs. Whitmer still your quarterback. He's been this whole series. He's going to flare it out to DiMuzio. DiMuzio does not have anywhere close to the room for a first down. He picks up 3. And the Grizzly defense makes a stop.
Gage Atkinson and JJ.
And they feel good about it, because it's the first one they've been able to make tonight.
4th down line.
4th down and 13. DiMuzio in the backfield in front of Hershey, the punter. He's kind of flexed out to the right. Hershey with that rugby-style kick, high kick. And it touches one of the Rams. Looks like it hit Jones and then popped back to about the 12-yard line. That's where Logan will take over after the first punt of the game by Highland. It's 34-yard kick. With 3:49 to play in the first half, Logan trails 21-7. They were 3 and out on one possession. They scored on their first possession to make it 7-7 after Highland marched downfield. They were 3 and out on their next possession. Highland scored. Logan had a drive going that stalled. Highland scored. And now we're back Logan again. A lot of contact with the receiver and the DB got there at the same time, and it's an incomplete pass.
Number 4, Easton Durham.
Durham breaking it up.
Second down, Grizzlies.
That was the first incomplete pass of the second quarter for Kirk. Kirk unloads. And this time, Jalen Sargent, here's the flag. Sargent got grabbed. He came out of his break, and Easton Rudd just kind of hung on to him around the waist, kind of spun him a little. And the back judge watched it for a minute and then pulled the flag. 15-yard penalty and a first down. I think the official was looking at it, trying to decide if Sargent just kind of tripped up coming out of his break or if he got grabbed. And it looked like Rudd kind of reached out and got a hold of him just enough to kind of spin him, just half spin him. And that was the call. So it's a first down out at the 27. See if they run a little screen this way. That's what they show. That's what they're going to do. Jensen picks up a couple.
Pass complete to Gage Jensen. Brought down by
tunnel
Mason
screen.
After a short game.
Jensen's got 5 catches for 38 yards. Sargent 2 for 54. Mason 1 for 10. Roper 1 for 9 and a touchdown. And that's somebody that's been quiet is Mason. They used him for a couple of plays in the first possession, and then not a word or not a peep from him since. In fact, I haven't seen him in the backfield. Kind of peeking for him on the sideline. There's Jensen in motion. They fake little screen to him and give it up inside for a yard to 2.
Alex 2 with the handoff, brought down at the line of scrimmage.
And it's going to be 3rd and 7.
Tokiai on the top.
The Grizzlies are 0 for on 3rd down. Kirk on a little comeback pattern to Jensen. Jensen out to about the 46-yard line. He's got 16 yards and a first down.
Number 5, Gage Jensen. Big gain on the play, brought down by Adam Jones. First down, Grizzlies.
So now Sargent and Jensen match each other with 54 yards receiving. Jensen's done it on 6 catches. Sargent's done it on 2. 2:21 to play in the first half. Logan trying to get a score before halftime. They run a little wheel pattern, and Kirk throws it behind the receiver. They ran a little receiver coming inside and then somebody wheeling out behind it. Not sure how that one's designed to go, but if they hold that one a step or two longer, you've got a receiver running down the sideline and a safety that was way out of position. See if they come back to that later. Kirk in trouble. Steps up. Oh, his head's twisted around nasty, and down he goes.
Cody Kirk brought down to the backfield.
4-yard loss. And it's 3rd down.
3rd down, Grizzlies.
Highland with their first sack of the night. They average 3 sacks a game. You know, they've been rushing 3 and 4. They haven't really been sending a lot of pressure after Kirk. He stepped in there, and that's the first time he's hit the deck. Comes with 1:45 to play in the first half. Kirk unloads again. Sargent's out there. Sargent's got it. 43 yards for Sargent and a first down. And they convert on back-to-back third downs after not getting one the entire first half. With 1:28 to play in the first half, Logan takes a timeout. They got the ball on the Highland 15-yard line. They trail 21-7. A score here would be huge for the Grizzlies if they score and go into the locker room with a score and be down 7. They get the ball back to start the second half. They've got a little bit of momentum, a little bit of confidence against a Highland team that one of Idaho's top 5A teams. They lost in the semifinals last year to Coeur d'Alene by a touchdown, and Coeur d'Alene went on to lose the state title game by 1 point, 57-56 to Rigby. And Rigby's actually in Highlands Conference. They don't have regions, they have conferences up there. In the High Country Conference, Rigby's been the cream of the crop here for the last couple of years. Highland is always there in the mix. At Highland lost to Rigby last year. They lost to East High School at East. They didn't lose much last year. Here's the little screen. Running out to the edge. Inside, well, right to the 10.
Second down, Grizzlies.
So it's a 5-yard gain. Kirk has trouble with it. Throws to the end zone. They're fighting for it, and usually the tie goes to the offense. Oh, goodness. So they give it to the defense. You always see that given to the offense. When two players, when it's bang, bang, and they both grabbed it, you always see that go to the offense. They give it to the defense, and Highland makes the play.
First down, Highland.
And Logan's coaching staff having a few words with the officials about that. That one was right in there. Both players were in there. Both players had a hold of it and were wrestling for it. And they gave it to Highland. I'm a long way from it, but you never see him give it to the defense. So instead of 14-7, it's 21-7, and Highland's got the ball on the 20-yard line after making the stop. Let's see if it's Durham or Whitmer back in there at quarterback. It's Whitmer. Whitmer looking for a big one. Down the middle, has a receiver, and it's stripped away at the last moment. Boy, Whitmer put it right on him. And it got stripped away by the defender.
Broken up by Joshua Thompson.
Thompson stripped it out of there. That was Schumann. He was running. He'd split those defenders. He was running right between them, and Whitmer put it right on him. Thompson dug it out of there. Whitmer looks underneath. 12-yard gain, and the clock stops. Schumann with 46 yards on 6 catches. Under a minute to play. Whitmer underneath is Schumann again. Not much for Schumann. He picks up 4, and Highland will take a timeout.
Pass complete to Jackson Schumann. Short gain of the play. Alan Hart on the tackle that time.
Schumann 7 catches, 50 yards. 179 yards passing for the two Highland quarterbacks here in this first half. There's 46 seconds to play in the first half. Highland has 2 more timeouts left. 2nd and 7 when we resume play. But the Grizzlies miss a golden opportunity. They threw the little back shoulder pass in the end zone. I think they were looking for Gage Jensen. The defensive back was right there with him. Jensen turns. They both are grabbing at the ball. And the defensive back and Jensen both fall to the ground fighting over it. And they gave the ball to the defense. Again, here was official a lot closer than I was, but you never ever see him give the ball to the defense. Whitmer on 2nd and 7. He's going to roll to his right, uncork to a man running wide open down the sideline. Missed tackles left, right, and center, and Highland is in business inside the 20-yard line. And the clock stopped before that play stopped. Grizzlies aren't getting any help even from their own clock crew. "45 yards. Whitmer looking underneath to DeMuzio. DeMuzio taken down after a gain of 7.
Pass complete to Caleb DeMuzio. Keeping the play. There's a flag on the field.
You got a flag out there? Let's see what the call is.
Holding is the call against Highland.
Holding on Highland. So that negates the 7-yard pass play. I don't know how long that clock was stopped, but as I'm watching that receiver run, I turned to look at the clock real quick, and it stopped at 33, and it stayed stopped long before the runner went down. At this point, Logan wants that clock to run.
Visitors' portable restrooms are located
And Highland turns Logan away on a scoring opportunity, and now they've got the ball at the Logan 21-yard line, 22 with 19 ticks on the clock. Highland's out of timeouts. That was Highland's 5th penalty of the half, 3rd of this second quarter. Whitmer standing in, delivers. Down to the 6. The clock stops with 12 seconds to play.
Pass complete to Easton Durham, brought down the 4-yard line by Jacob Tent. 1st and goal, Highland.
First and goal. What's going on now? Stop the clock. They're at 7 seconds. They spiked it. I'm looking down at doing my stats here. One of the hazards of doing your own stats. That, and really, I don't know any math. I'm just making up numbers. 6, 21, purple. 7 seconds on the clock, 1st and 2nd and goal at the 5. I think Logan's going to call a timeout. Yeah, Logan defensively calls a timeout. So Highland's gone 75 yards in just over a minute. A 45-yard pass doing most of the damage. Highland offensively tonight has been sharp. I mean, razor sharp. And they lead 21-7, looking to make it more. Just when it looked like Logan was going to make it 14-21, and then getting the ball back to start the second half. Highland makes the play defensively, and they don't sit on it. They've been aggressive. Box Elder leads Bear River 7-6 late in the first half of that one. Morgan still blanking Green Canyon. Last score we had of that one was right at the end of the first quarter, and Bonneville leads Mountain Crest 14-0 in the second. Whitmer stays in at quarterback. That's Durham, who comes in motion. Whitmer looking back against the grain, and he's in trouble. He goes down with 1 second on the clock. Are they going to say he got out of bounds? That didn't look like he got out of bounds. And he did. And he loses a few yards, loses 4, and that gives Highland a chance for a field goal. Man, it looked like he got dragged down in bounds. Once again, I'm a long way from the play. So Hersey's on for the 25-yard attempt. Looks wide, but it's not. 24-7, Highland on top as we head to the half at Logan. You're watching the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel.
Talent is important in every sport, but when you get on the field, it's who wants it more, who's willing to work harder for it. And that's what I love about it.
He was about 5 years old, and we went to a little routine eye check, and it turns out that he couldn't see with his left eye at all.
You know, your eyes are a pair, they're a duo, and amblyopia comes in when one of them gives up.
One eye is so much stronger than the other that the weak eye stops working, so you have to strengthen it.
I had wore a patch on my eye to school every day, and I just felt not as good as everyone else. I would come home and I'd cry sometimes because I was the freak of the school.
There were times when I got so angry on his behalf. How can these other kids treat you this way?
But it made me realize it's not that everyone's better than me, I just have to work harder than everyone. I needed to keep going until it made my eye stronger. So I wore that patch every day for 5 years, and when I finally got to take that patch off for the last time, it had made me a completely different person. But I still struggle with depth perception, things that come naturally to other defenders on the field, I have to work for. I was going to the gym and I was a much stronger player. I was no longer the guy getting pushed off the ball, I was the guy bodying people.
For technical ability, he's off the charts. He's an absolute winner, always gets the job done.
When you're fighting, you're struggling, you're working hard with your team, you're putting forth everything that you have, and then when you finally put the ball in the back of the net, it's the most beautiful feeling in the world. If you work hard at something, you can be successful. You can beat the odds. You just can't give up. My left eye gave up on me, but I didn't want to give up on my eye.
We are a small family business here in Cache Valley, but what people don't realize is the large commercial work we do and the reach we have all over the western U.S. that we're proud of, and we're particularly proud of the Wendover perimeter fence project because of its unique challenges for us as far as installation and of the fence and the terrain. We first of all, there is the wildlife consideration and what type of wildlife we're trying to keep out of this airport. They do have antelope out here that roam, and the goal, of course, is to keep the pilots safe as well as the wildlife safe. And so with that in mind, we installed an 8-foot wildlife fence around the perimeter, and then for added security, there are 3 strands of barbed wire on top. When we take into consideration of the wildlife, prior to going out and just starting to excavate and drill, a biologist had come out and combed for any bird nesting, any other wildlife that could be making their habitat in this area, so we don't disturb that. When we disturbed the soil, we had to take the spoils off-site, and we couldn't spread them out because underneath the salt layer there is a clay, hardened clay mix that isn't really designed to be on top of the ground. And so when we excavated for the holes, we picked up those spoils and hauled them off-site to a different location so we wouldn't disturb the ecosystem there at the airport. One thing that attracted us to this project is the long straight lines of fence and the runs that went on for thousands of feet and some even miles. And we do hire a surveyor that comes in and pinpoints it and marks every 200 feet to keep us straight. But a lot of it has to do with our installers and the incredible experience they have in getting these lines straight and these long lines. And these guys are really professional at doing this, and we're lucky to have the staff we have to get these long straight runs of fence. They're experts at what they do, and along with the surveyor and the markings that the surveyor does, we're able to get these long lines perfectly straight. When installing this fence on this project and others, we try to keep up on the state of art of equipment that we have to help install these projects. This equipment does allow us to put in a lot more fence than doing it the old way by hand.
We get out here about 6 o'clock in the mornings, and we work until 4:30 in the evenings. It gets warm about 6 o'clock in the morning. Each day it kind of varies depending on how long our stretches are, how long our runs are. If we have a lot of long straight runs, we can get anywhere from 2,000 feet to 2,500 feet of the 8-foot mesh up. If we have short runs and going up over hills and stuff like that, you know, we might only get 500 feet or 1,000 feet done in a day. It really just depends on the terrain and what we're dealing with. This fence is an 8-foot wildlife fence. You know, it works really good for keeping out, you know, your bigger wildlife like deer and antelope and elk, and but it'll work as far as keeping out rabbits and stuff like that too. You know, you got the smaller, you know, the smaller squares at the bottom to keep out the smaller wildlife, and of course it'll deter people as well. The posts are usually anywhere from 2 feet to 3 feet deep, depending on what the post is, if it's a line post or a terminal post, or if it's used to hold the gate.
One of the best parts about working for Custom Fence here is the ability to work and think and be allowed to do our job. We all have our unique talents, and here at Custom Fence we're allowed to exploit those talents and are put into a position to excel, and you know, it's really a great atmosphere to work here. and we enjoy one another's company. We enjoy tackling the big projects as well as the small projects. Each project has a unique dynamic about it, and always we seem to find someone here in the company that is the right fit for that project and the talents that we need to get that job done.
Dr. Daines, you are a doctor, you're a fully qualified doctor of audiology, and we were looking at your business card a few minutes ago, and you've got an awfully lot of letters after your name. What do they all mean?
They're all representations of my certifications that I have. I graduated from Utah State with my doctorate degree in audiology. I have a bachelor's degree in communicative disorders and deaf education. And then I've also have what they call a board certification, which entails further education and further training after the doctorate of audiology degree.
Okay, so very clearly not a fly-by-night operation here. You've spent many years training and qualifying and loving. I get the impression when I see you with your patients that you love what you do.
I do. I love this. I love enjoying sitting back with my patients, helping them out. I get a lot of satisfaction, take a lot of pride in doing a job well done.
Yeah. And so the Daines family, been here for many generations in Cache Valley, again, homegrown doctor in yourself. What do you love about seeing your patients? They all seem to love you too, I will say that, we've noticed.
Everybody has a different story. We have a lot of neat families here in the Valley, a lot of neat people, and I enjoy meeting them and hearing about them and their life and seeing if we can make it better. After all, family is what's important. Those relations that we build with one another. Some of my favorite memories are sitting around with my grandmother, around with all the cousins when I was young, and those things are very important, and that's where hearing comes in. We need to be a part of those types of environments and not sit around and wondering what's going on. We enable people to be able to enjoy those things again.
Yes, you do, because actually there's nothing worse, is there, than being in a crowd of people and you really can't understand what anyone's saying to you.
Yep, and it affects your relationships with those people.
Now, I noticed also here, as we've been here a few minutes today, that you've had a couple of people come in and out without an appointment, just kind of needing a little tweaking, perhaps, a little reassurance. You're there for them all day, aren't you?
Yep, we're here every day. Every Monday through Friday, and we don't charge for those things. If we can fix it here in the office and take care of it, we do it at no charge. Hearing's important to us, and we want to make sure that you're hearing the best that you can.
Yeah, and it's very clear when we've been watching you that you really do love what you do, and your patients are so comfortable with you. Tell us where you are and how to get help if people need it.
I'm at 485 North Main Street in Logan, and you can give us a call at 753-HEAR, H-E-A-R, or 4327.
Okay. So if you do think you're losing your hearing just a little bit, like some of us of that certain age, come on down and see Dr. Daines and he'll sort you right out. Thank you. So you're really big supporters of Logan High School sports here, Fernando, at the factory. What would you like to invite them to do?
You know, I want to invite all the kids and the parents. You know, sometimes they have late games and there's no place to eat. And we be here to open late if we need to. If they come up to the game, we just need to mention the Cache TheValleyChannel, and we keep a good special for the group. So anytime they want to have a pizza after the game or nachos, you feel free to come in the factory and we'd be well to keep it a good deal.
Anytime. When there's a game on, doesn't matter if it's Logan High or anywhere in the valley, right? You'll be here for them after the game.
Yeah, you know, we're here for Ridgeline, Mount Crest, or Logan High. Whatever people want to come, we give us a call. We stay late for them and we'd be happy to serve after hours.
Okay, what a treat after a game. Thanks, Fernando.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys for the support and thank you for everything.
We started Palmer Home Furnishings 17 years ago on 10th West, and we started Mountain Ridge Furniture a couple years ago out here on the highway in Providence. And recently, kind of out of the blue, not really planned, we had somebody purchase our building on 10th West. The result was for us to merge the two businesses and bring it all into one out here in Providence. 3 blocks south of Macy's out here on the highway. You can't miss it. If you drive on the highway in Providence, you can't miss it.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food, it's Wendy's. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you have been missing. Palmer Home Furnishings, our low overhead means higher quality at lower prices. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. Custom Fence Company, privacy, security, peace of mind. Anderson Seed and Garden, growing better gardeners. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. KSM means music, music is all we do. The Factory Pizzeria, we're open late after the game. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 30 years. Welcome back to Logan High School on a nice September evening. Eric Olson along with you as Highland jumps out to the 24-7 halftime lead. It was a close first quarter. 14-7, or 7-0, then 7-7, then 14-7. Then Logan goes 3 and out, then Highland scores again, and then Logan gets a good drive going and can't score. Highland scores again. Highland only punted once, and then Logan had a great chance to get down to the 10-yard line, threw a little, looked like they were throwing a little comebacker into the end zone, and the defensive back and the receiver both fought for it. And talking with here after, it looked like maybe it bobbled it, or at the half, looked maybe it bobbled it out of the receiver's hands and more into the defender's hands, and that's why they gave that one over the defense. You don't usually see that when it's one of those, jump balls. They usually give it to the offense, but then Highland took it right down the field in less than a minute, down to the 10-yard line of Logan. They end up settling for a 25-yard field goal as time expired to lead 24-7. Highland with 106 yards rushing, 240 through the air, 346 total yards. Logan 175 yards in the air as we kick off the second half. 175 yards in the air for Logan, 1 yard rushing on the ground, and the Grizzlies with 176 total yards. Cody Kirk is 13 of 18 for 175 yards and a touchdown and a pick. 97 yards on 3 catches for Jalen Sargent. Gage Jensen 6 for 54. Whitmer and Durham took turns at quarterback for Highland. Whitmer had 124 yards, Durham had 116. DeMuzio ran for 116 yards. Logan trying for the big one early as Kirk hangs it out there. And Durham is there to defend. Sargent has to kind of slow down for it. Kirk hung it out there. And Sargent, as he had to slow down, that gave Durham a chance to turn and knock it away. 2nd and 10. Logan cashed in on that play. Their first, well, second pass of the game. Now Kirk's in trouble. Scrambles out, downfield for nobody. He had Roper underneath and threw it right over his head. I don't know if he was just trying to throw it away on the scramble, but it's 3rd and 10. And this first drive of the second half is always so important coming out of the locker room. And we see Mason in the backfield. They had him involved early in this ball game, and then we didn't see him much. Pass is complete, 1st down.
Pass complete to Kelly Roper, brought down by
Roper
Byron Brinton.
gets 11 yards. And that's a 1st down for the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies aren't even going to pretend they're going to try to run the football. Trailing by 3 touchdowns. Kirk's going to unload again. All sorts of contact, no flags. So we've seen that before tonight where Highland's defending that by getting in front of, is that Kirk that's down and getting up slow? It is. He got hit just after he threw it and he's limping as he gets up. We've seen Highland defend that. Those long passes like that, you get Sargent running out there and then they get a defender that comes over and kind of gets on his hip and kind of gets in front of him a little bit and then slows down so Sargent can't run past him. And it's been effective because early in the game, Sargent was just running past guys. So he's going to have to try to find a way to separate. They fake the screen. Good job by Kirk to get free. And they have all sorts of linemen downfield, and there's a flag. And I was going to say, I can't believe that they don't have an ineligible man downfield, because they had all sorts of linemen 10 yards downfield, and I'm sure that's the call. And instead of being in Highland territory, it's probably coming back, and it is. Ineligible man downfield. 3rd penalty on the Grizzlies. Cody Kirk is working on that left leg. He keeps flexing the knee there. He stepped into a throw and got somebody right down into his legs on that long throw and kind of rolled him up. He was slow to get up. So it's 2nd and 15 after the penalty instead of 1st and 10 in Highland territory.
2nd down and 15.
That happened so often. They were trying to run a screen and Highland blew it up. And then Kirk had to run around. And guys are already downfield. Instead of a big gainer for Jensen, it's going to be 2nd and long for the Grizzlies. They're locking Durham up on J.J. Sargent. Here comes the rush off the back foot. Kirk gets it away out to the 50-yard line, and Kirk hit late, and there's a flag. 24 yards, and Kirk slow to get up. And they're going to tack 15 more onto it. .210 yards now for Kirk. He's going to have to come off for at least a play. 78 yards receiving for Jensen. Let's see if the backup will probably be Cooper Pond. Pond, the senior, as they walk Kirk off slowly. He was walloped late. was borderline late the first time he got hit, but it was more down low, and the guy just kind of was crawling in there trying to get him down. That one was up high, and that's probably what drew the flag. Not high to the head, just higher. Nice grab out there, though, and it's first down at the 35. Pond. Gonna hand it off. Gain of maybe a yard.
Handoff to Matthew Mason, brought down by Mason Fuller. Correction, Folder.
Mason gets a yard.
No gain on the play.
They moved the stick. It's less than a yard, but they moved the stick so it goes in as a yard. But it was about, if a yard's 3 feet, they got about a third of a yard. I mean, they're locking Sargent up man-to-man on that far side as much as they can, and so Gage Jensen's having a big night. It's third and short after the 7-yard gain. 8 yards.
Third down 3 for the Grizzlies.
Third down and about 2. Plenty of time on the play clock. Pond stays in there. He's going to loft it out there for Sargent. And it hits the back of Durham. So that's another one where they throw it short, but if you throw it out in front, Durham was beat. And they're throwing a back shoulder pass, and Durham's playing the trail. Sargent had to wait for it and hit Durham in the back. 4th and 2, and the Grizzlies are going to go for it. Cooper Pond in for the injured Cody Kirk. Kirk 210 yards passing. Here's a first down on 4th and 2 to Jensen.
Pass complete to Gage Jensen, brought down by Adam Jones.
Jensen picks up 6.
First down, Grizzlies.
84 yards on 8 catches for Jensen. Kirk's back in the ball game. Yep, there he is. So Pond comes on in relief. He's 2 of 3 for 14 yards and keeps the drive going. Now Kirk back in there. They're going to hand up the middle to Mason. Not much room. He gets about to the 20. It's a yard gain.
Hand off to Matthew Mason. Following the lead block from Tyson Miller.
You're just trying to keep that defensive front line honest. Slow them down a little bit because they're just pinning their ears back on the pass rush because, well, Logan's throwing the ball all night. 7 rushing plays all night long. 26 passes. Kirk's 27. Down he goes. They brought the linebacker right up the A gap. Nobody even touched him. And Kirk's hobbled so he can't get away.
Big loss on the play.
He loses 6.
Third down 9 for the Grizzlies.
So it's third down again. 3rd and 16 for Logan. At the 32-yard line, and it's probably 2 down territory. They're looking for Sargent again. This time they throw it out in front. Sargent's there. Perfect throw by Kirk. Durham's a great athlete, but not many people can catch J.J. Sargent. 125 yards on 4 catches and a touchdown for Sargent. Kirk now with 2 touchdown passes, 238 yards. The PAT to try to make it a 10-point game. The flag is thrown before the snap, or right at the snap, usually on the offense. Oh, it's offsides on the defense. Or maybe they just let him kick it.
Calls offsides on Highland.
They stopped the play. And the kick was good. And now they're going to re-kick it. See if the second kick's good after they move it down to the 1.5 yard line. Second one gets up and in as well. 24-14, still a ball game in Logan. Highland leads. (24-14), Jalen Sargent having himself a game. I say that every time he takes the field, though. 104 yards receiving last week, 40 yards kick returns last week, 144 all-purpose yards. He's got 125 yards receiving tonight. I think he has one. No, they did not return that punt. He didn't have a. I don't think he's had a chance at any returns. I think he may have one kick return chance. Moreno's kick fielded about the 7. Jones picks his way up to the 27-yard line, and that's where Highland will take over in their first possession of the second half, leading 24-14. So a couple of big plays by Sargent and a couple of timely plays by Gage Jensen. And then a big penalty helped Logan as well on the roughing the passer. Logan's only has three penalties tonight. Highland has 6. 3 of those are the 15-yard variety. You go around the end in a play that ends abruptly.
Hand off to Jackson Schumann, short gain on the play.
Schumann
by Gage Atkinson.
picks up 4. He's got 2 carries for 14 yards. He's been an all-purpose guy. 14 yards rushing, 95 yards catching the football. DeMuzio in the backfield. Durham's your quarterback now in this third quarter as Schumann takes this one out into first down territory. 8 yards. So Durham starts the third quarter. It was Whitmer in the second quarter and Durham in the first quarter. Both of them doing good things. Both of them very efficient. Here's the give to DeMuzio, who's having a big night. Walloped out of bounds up near the first down marker. DeMuzio had 105 yards in the first quarter, had 116 in the first half. He got 9 yards there.
Second down 1 for the Highland Rams.
You know, you look at this ball game. Logan gave up 3 points in the second quarter. They turned it over in the end zone. Maybe a little closer than a 10-point game. Here's Durham reversing out across midfield. Still alive, finally grabbed and hauled down, but not until he picks up plenty of yardage. 14 yards for Durham.
Quarterback keeper by Easton Durham.
3 carries, 3 yards for Durham. He's been sacked twice. Manasseh Tupuo with the tackle. He played in the playoffs last year for the Grizzlies, did Manasseh, and they're happy to have him this year. And now the officials are going to stop play here. Not sure why. Box Elder leads Bear River in the third, 14-12. Bonneville leads Mountain Crest in the fourth, 14-6. Ridgeline leads Woods Cross at the half, 17-0. Skyview 33-0 over Madison, Idaho in the third quarter. Last score we had Morgan and Green Canyon. Morgan led that one 13-0. That was at the start of the second quarter. I haven't had an update on that one. Turn and give to DeMuzio. DeMuzio moving the pile. 4 yards for DeMuzio.
Number 5 on the play. Second down 5 for the Riders.
Muzio is averaging about 9 yards a carry. 129 yards on 14 carries. Six minutes to play in the third quarter. 24-14 Highland. They're on the move again. Durham. Double move. This one hanging up there. And it's incomplete. Boy, the defensive back wanted an offensive pass interference.
Incomplete pass intended for Hunter Huelsman.
He's standing there just waiting for it. And then Heuleman runs into him. He was looking for the ball as well. The ball falls harmlessly to the turf, and it's third down and 5. 5 of 6 on third downs for Highland. Third and 5, DeMuzio in the pistol is behind Durham. Durham's going to keep on the option. He's got the first down. He needed 5. It looks like he got 6. He wasn't going to pitch that one.
First down Rams.
He hung on and took off. They scored on that play early in the game. In fact, it was the first touchdown of the game from DeMuzio on a 16-yard run. 5.5 to play here in the third quarter. 10-point Highland lead. First and 10 at the Logan 28. Durham pitches to DeMuzio. He's got a convoy out in front of him. He cuts it inside for a gain of 3.
Caleb DeMuzio with the handoff. Short gain on the play. Manasseh Tupo on the tackle.
So Logan gives up 21 points in the first quarter. Since then, they've given up 3. But Highland is driving right now. At the Logan 25, 2nd and 7. They blow this play dead, and Highland moved early. So 2nd and 12 as they were running the little delay. They ran that successfully multiple times in the first half. Logan's hanging in there, but the more I watch this game, the more impressed I am that Skyview beat this team 45-0. Because I'm looking at a Highland team that's, you know, they've given up some penalties, but they do so many things so well. They're going to run the delay the other way this time, and DeMuzio's got a lot of room. DeMuzio's going to scamper into the end zone for the 30-yard touchdown.
And off to Caleb DeMuzio, touchdown.
That's multiple times tonight the Grizzlies defense has had Highland in a 2nd or 3rd and long and then given up a big play. Film is going to be not great. 30 yards for DiMuzio. 162 yards and 3 touchdowns. Hershey for the point after try. He's successful. And it's 31-14 with 4:13 to play in the third quarter. Highland leading Logan on the game of the week.
Hi, Cache Valley. This is Fernando over the Factory Pizzeria. We're running a special right now. We're giving a free nachos when you buy a large pizza with 3 toppings. Just mention this out and you're gonna get a free nachos every time you come. The Factory Pizzeria is located in 119 South Main, below the Gias in the basement. Come see us as soon as you can. Thank you.
Back at Logan High School, Eric Olson along with you with 4:13 to play in the third quarter. 31-14 Highland. Box Elder leads Bear River in that rivalry game 22-12. Skyview stomping Madison of Idaho 47-6. Madison up there in the Rexburg area. A knuckleball kick. And they're going to toss it back to Sargent. Sargent looking for an opening. Has a little bit of one, and he moves it up to the 25.
Kickoff fielded by Joshua Thompson, handoff to Jalen Sargent.
And that's where Logan will start trailing by 17 again. Mountain Crest and Bonneville are tied up at 14. Morgan and Green Canyon. Morgan leads Green Canyon 16-7. Those are in the second half, all those games. There's a little toss out to Sargent. On the little screen, he has one guy to beat. It's Durham, and he does. They say he stepped out of bounds after only 5.
Game of 5 on the play. Second down 5 for the Grizzlies.
Second and 5 for the Grizz. They're doing what they can to get the ball in Jalen Sargent's hands. Trujillo's in motion into the backfield. They're going to hand it to Mason. Mason picking up a yard or 2, maybe a couple. Give him 2. 4 carries, 5 yards for Matt Mason.
Brought down by Luke Togia.
Third and a long 2. As we're under 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Logan trails 31-14. They were tied at 7. Logan's never led in this game. They go out there to Sargent. Durham's right there, but Sargent pulls it in. 4 yards and a first down.
Pass complete to JJ. Sargent brought down by Easton Durham. First down Grizzlies.
6 catches, 134 yards, and a touchdown for Sargent. And they're playing man on man with their best athlete, Easton Durham, on Sargent. It's been a good battle. Durham's won a few, Sargent's won a few. Screen, nice grab by Mason.
Kellen Roper climbs the ladder for that reception, brought down by Luke.
Was that Roper? Roper, not Mason. That's the same play they scored on.
3 for the Grizzlies.
7 yards, it's 2nd and 3. This will be if that was the 27th passing attempt of the night for Kirk. A minute and a half left to play here in this third quarter. Boy, that one took so long to get there that Jones fought through the block. Not a great block out there on the edge. The receiver knows it. He kind of taps himself. Yeah, it's my fault. And the sideline says, yeah, it is. A loss of 3. (31-14) with a minute left in the third quarter. 3rd down and 5. There's that comebacker, and it goes through the hands of Sargent. It's intercepted. He thought it was just incomplete, and he's standing there shrugging his shoulders. Meantime, they're running past him the other way, and so Kirk throws his second interception, although that one's probably not on him. First down, Highland, and a chance to put this ball game away late in the third quarter. Kirk's 20 of 28 for 251 yards and 2 touchdowns. That was his second interception. One of those interceptions was thrown in the end zone. Just the kind of stuff they're trying to clean up and improve on. And Kirk has definitely shown he's got an arm. I mean, he can throw the ball downfield. He's got the tools. Just a little bit of seasoning and see what he can do. Durham down the middle looking for the big tight end. Incomplete. A lot of hand fighting going on out there. And it falls incomplete at the goal line as Highland went for the sudden change of pace strike.
Incomplete pass intended
Try to put this ball game away. If they go up now by 24 points, yeah, it's probably curtains for the Grizz. Durham on the delay to DiMuzio. DiMuzio tripped up at the line of scrimmage, but still lowers his head and moves forward for 6.
Hand off to DiMuzio.
Still averaging nearly 10 yards a carry.
Cam Cottle in on the tackle that time. 3rd down run.
In fact, he's averaging about 9.9. 3rd down and 5. Durham's going to keep it. Lots of time. Now unloads over the middle, and it's tipped away. 4th down.
Pass intended for Ramon Barella, broken up by Kimani Lane.
Lang tips it away. He's made a couple of plays defensively, and that's the end of the third quarter. 31-14, Highland on top.
So, you bought your computer from one of those big box stores, or online, and now it's really slow, or just not working right.
Target acquired.
PCs Unlimited can fix it. Fixing computers is what we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. Service, repair, diagnostics, networking, upgrades, system and data recovery, all your computer needs. Our prices are low, and our customer service is the best. You won't get help from the big box or online. Come see the professionals at PCs Unlimited.
Back at Logan High School, Eric Wilson along with you on a Friday night. Huge game tonight for Jalen Sargent as he's got 3 catches for 134 yards and a touchdown. But on the other side, big number 21, Caleb DiMuzio, 168 yards rushing, 17 carries, 3 touchdowns. And Highland leads 31-14. And they're setting up for a 40-yard field goal attempt. See if they kick it. Whitmer is a quarterback. He's the holder. 40 yards from the right hash. They're going to kick it. Plenty of leg. Looks good, and it is good. 34-14. We'll stay right here as Highland opens up a 20-point lead. Still haven't seen a score out of that Ridgeline game, but I do know that Skyview now has 54 points against Madison. They've now outscored Idaho 99-6 in the last 2 weeks. Keep looking for a Ridgeline game. Ridgeline score. They were playing Woods Cross. There it is. Riverhawks up on Woods Cross 24-0. Early in the fourth quarter. And it's going to be really interesting in a few weeks when Ridgeline and Skyview get together. For Logan next week, they've got Mountain Crest. Then they're at home again against Bear River. They visit Ridgeline on the 25th of September, at Skyview on the 2nd of October. Then Green Canyon and at Hunter to end out the regular season. The next couple of weeks, they'll be releasing the RPI scores. And you'll see all the teams make the playoffs, and RPI tells you where they're going to draw. Some teams get a first round bye, other teams play in that first round. Logan played in that first round last year and beat Ogden. And is Pond the quarterback now? Pond is the quarterback now, yep. So Kirk's on the sideline and Pond the quarterback going up top. And he overthrows Sargent. He put that one on the line. You need to put a little air under it. He's fast. But I don't know if he's that fast. Sargent going to stay on or take a break. He's heading for the sideline. He wants a rest. He's done a lot of running tonight. Both sides of the ball. Pond going over the middle, pass just about caught, and he's still, as he's walloped just before the ball gets there, he's still just about catches it, but instead there's going to be PI on Easton Rudd. I don't think Rudd saw the receiver coming. He was zeroed in on that ball, and he ran into the receiver early.
Called pass interference on the Highland Rams.
So that's one problem Highland's had tonight is penalties. That's 8 of them. Their third of the second half. First of the fourth quarter. Pond unloads and throws over the head of his intended receiver. I think that was Matt Mason. Highland's just been able to pin their ears back and come after the Logan quarterbacks tonight because Logan's been playing from behind and they're just throwing the ball. The Logan quarterbacks have done a pretty good job of moving around in the pocket. Here's Pond, hit as he throws, and nobody home. 3rd and 10.
Incomplete pass intended for Matthew Mason.
It's As much as they're coming after the quarterback, I wonder if maybe Logan might try a screen up in here. Let's see what they dial up. Sargent's back on the field. He and Hoff to the near side, and 3 receivers to the far side. Pond throws to the far side, caught. First down. Is that Jensen? If it is, he's having a big night as well. It is Jensen for 11 yards. That breaks a string of incomplete passes by Pond. Jensen kind of hobbles off. Five of 9 on 3rd downs for Logan. Another incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass intended for Jalen Hoff, broken up by Mason Coleman.
Intended for Hoff. Second and 10. Ball's out at the 45-yard line. There's 11 minutes to play in the ball game. It's 34-14 Highland. Pond's going to keep it. Best run of the night for any Grizzlies. Pond picks up 9. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Up the middle, brought down by Hiram Benton. Good down on the play. 3rd down 1 for the Grizzlies.
So a manageable 3rd and 1. Again, 4-down territory, I'm sure. You got 2 downs to pick up 3 feet here, and it's less than 3 feet. Middle's wide open. They're going to run it with Pond. He got a good block up front, and he picks up the 1st down. Picked up 4 yards.
That's a Grizzly 1st down. Logan George on the tackle that time.
2 for 2 on this drive on 3rd down. And the Grizz keep going. It's been a tough preseason schedule for Logan. Provo at Stansbury. You got the win at Cypress, and now against one of the best teams in Idaho. Pond unloading it out there. Catch is made. My goodness. See who that was.
Pass complete to Jalen Hoff. Big gain on the play, brought down by Adam Jones.
27 yards to Jalen Hoff. Nice throw by Pond, right on the money. It's 4 of 9 for 54 yards. And now it's at the Highland 15-yard line, 1st and 10. Cody Kirk got beat up here in the second half. He's thrown a couple of interceptions. Pond's going to keep it on that read option, pick up a couple. He's got 3 carries for 15 yards. He's got more rushing yards than the rest of the team combined.
2nd down 9.
In fact, the rest of the team combined, because you count sacks and rushing yardage, is -1. Kirk had 251 yards passing. Pond on that little comeback, it's just that little stop short, back shoulder, throws it short, it's incomplete.
Incomplete pass intended for Gage Jensen.
Jensen was the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd and 9. Now can Logan pick up another one? 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. Third and 9 with 8:45 to play in a 20-point ball game. Highland leading 34-14. Pond's got time. He's got wide open Sargent in the back of the end zone. Touchdown.
pass complete to JJ Sargent.
Perfect. And Sargent adds to his big night. 148 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns on 7 catches. Pond is 5 of 11, 68 yards in the touchdown. So the Grizzlies not going away easy. Highland in control, but the Grizzlies still working. 21 for the Grizzlies, 34 for Highland. 8:38 to play in the game. Well, Logan's not giving up. 34-21. 8:38 to play, and the Grizzlies keep fighting. Highland.
Mountain Crest 14, Bonneville 21.
Highlands look super tonight, and they're just keeping the Grizzlies at arm's length. Morgan leads Green Canyon 16-14. His little punch kick going to be fielded at the 6. Returned out to the 21. Ridgeline leads Woods Cross 27-0. Skyview over Madison 54-6. Bonneville and Mountain Crest, last score he had in that one, they were tied at 14 late in that ball game.
Ridgeline 24, Woods Cross 0.
And a little bit of a shocker. Bear River leads Box Elder 24-22. We saw Box Elder earlier against Green Canyon lose a 2-touchdown lead in the 4th quarter and lose that ball game. No, Madison of Idaho scored, so Skyview beats Madison 54-13. That one's a final. Here's the give back up inside that to Schumann. He picks up 9.
And on to Jackson Schumann.
Well, this Highland team can do so many things.
Quickly on the play,
second and 1. That Ridgeline Woods Cross game is about the same point of the game as we are. There's 8:04 left in this one, and Ridgeline leads 24-7 as Woods Cross gets on the board. Bonneville leads Mountain Crest 21-14 in the 4th. Here's the give to DeMuzio. DeMuzio steps outside.
DeMuzio on the carry, brought down by Damian
And picks up 6. 174 yards on 18 carries for DeMuzio. (26-22) Bear River over Box Elder as DeMuzio keeps adding to his rushing total.
DeMuzio with the carry again.
Another 7 yards. He's got 181 yards. 181 yards for DeMuzio on 19 carries. He's been a monster. As Highland looks at 2nd and 4. Well, long 3. We're going to pitch it. Try to get outside with Parrish. And he picks up a couple.
Eli Parrish with the carry that time, wrapped up by Peyton Cox.
And it's 3rd down as Peyton Cox makes the tackle. 3rd and 2. 6:25 to play in the ball game. Highland leads by 13. Looking to close it out. DeMuzio with a lead blocker. He's that big tight end, and he follows up behind him.
DeMuzio with the carry, 1st down Rams.
He's got 7 yards and another 1st down. DeMuzio's 12 yards shy of a 200-yard rushing night. And there's 6 minutes left in this ball game. There's another delay to DeMuzio. He's tripped up this time after a gain of about 5.
DeMuzio on the delayed draw that time, brought down by Tayson Hoffman.
200-yard alert, 200-yard alert. Say 7 yards away from a 200-yard rushing night. It's Caleb DeMuzio, the senior running back. He had 105 yards in the first quarter. Going to throw to the edge to Parrish. And he's not going to get anything. In fact, he's going to lose 2.
Eli Parrish with the carry that time. Brought down by Matthew Mason and Jalen Hall. Short loss on the play. 3rd down 8 for the Rams.
It's 3rd and 8 for Highland. That means you run the delay to DeMuzio, and he picks up, 8 to 12. That's what he's done all night. 3 receivers to the top of your screen. DeMuzio's in the backfield, and Durham's going to roll. Durham off the back foot, man wide open. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Touchdown, 45 yards on 3rd down and 7. Varela. 114 yards for Varela. On 3 catches and a touchdown. That one on 3rd and 7. That's 2 touchdowns for Durham. 12 of 16, 167 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And the kick is good. 41-21 with 4:08 to play. Highland stays on top.
Because they have beautiful selections of fresh flowers. They're family owned and been in business for a long time, and they make you feel like part of the family.
.408 to play in the ball game here in Logan. The Grizzlies won't go away, but Highland wants them to. Highland's kept a double-digit lead most of this ball game. Logan keeps trying to creep back into it, and every time they do, Highland answers. Says, hey, just sit back down. And Logan will get another chance to bring the offense out in the field, keep competing. We're going to return this one all the way to this side. Out to the 20.
Kick return by Joshua Thompson, right down near the
Josh Thompson's hauled down with 4 minutes to play in the ball game.
Easton Rock and Ian Larson in the tackle that time.
Cooper Pond came on in relief of Cody Kirk. In the fourth quarter, he played a few plays after Kirk got hurt in the third, and then Kirk came back and Pond back on after that last one. Now he's throwing it out there for Sargent. Catches it at the 40-yard line. Why not? 42 yards. There's another 200-yard alert as J.J. Sargent has 190 yards on 8 catches. That one good for 42.
First down, Grizzlies.
And the Grizzlies keep working. Well, Pond threw this one high and outside, and the receiver broke inside. Gage Jensen came inside on that one. 6 of 13 for Pond, 110 yards. The Grizzlies with 361 yards passing in this ball game. 14 yards rushing. Pond waits for Mason to clear and then let him just a little bit too much. Pass rush was getting after him. The defensive end, Cody Colvin, came off the offensive right side. Really pressured Pond. It's 3rd and 10. Pond throwing another little comebacker, but he one-hopped it. And it's 4th and 10. You know, and we've seen that with Pond tonight too. He's put a couple of passes right on the money and have been beautiful, and then he's had some others that have one-hopped, or I don't know if they got away from him or just a little too much on him. And
attention fans, remember that no one is allowed on the
but he's
field
come on in relief of Kirk. Gone 6 of 15, 110 yards and a touchdown. And one of the Grizzlies, I think it's Dupo, slow to get up. And they help him off. It's 4th and 10. With 3:28 to play in the ball game, the Grizzlies obviously are going to go for it. See if Highland brings some heat. They've been able to make the quarterback uncomfortable with just a 4-man rush, and that's what they're doing. They're running some games and stunts up front, and there's a man running free. Touchdown! 4th down and 10 at the 43. And Roper for 43 yards in the score, his 2nd touchdown of the night. 70 yards on 4 catches, 2 touchdowns for Roper. Roughing the passer, so Pond stood in there and delivered it even as he was getting walloped. And he's now got 153 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Logan lining up, working on the 2-point play. Here's Sargent. They're going to hand to him. He's going to throw it. And he throws it wide of his target. He had a run-pass option. He decides to throw. It's incomplete. 41-27, 3:22 play in the ballgame. Highland still leading Logan.
Vehicle won't start? We can fix that. Not running right? We can fix that. Won't stop? We can fix that. Auto Evolution, honest service at a fair price on Airport Road.
had like 23 combined points scored in this fourth quarter. It's been an entertaining one. That roughing the passer penalty we told you about, they're going to assess it on the kickoff. Now Highland, you know, when they look at film, they're going to look at the penalties. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9 penalties on Highland. Logan's only been flagged 3 times. You know, Logan's a couple of plays away from this being a really interesting ball game, but that's football, right? Highland has executed, and Logan hasn't executed as well on the onside kick, and you might as well when you've got that penalty. Even if you don't get to it, it still doesn't give them great field position. They're at the 30-yard line as Durham comes up with it. Durham's been impressive tonight. He's been called upon mostly to shadow J.J. Sargent. And you know, he made some plays, did Durham. And then Sargent just kind of came alive. He's got 97 yards in the first half. He's got 190 for the game. So he got 93 yards here in the second half. And flag, I think Logan had too many players on the field. Let's see. Somebody was running off for the Grizzlies as the offense broke the huddle. But Logan gets enough time to, well, they get till that ball snap to run somebody off, or is it they can't break the huddle with 12? Let's see what they do. They're going to pick the flag up. Yeah, Logan had 12, but, you know, offensively, you can't break the huddle with 12. Defensively, you've got till the ball snaps. See how aggressive Highland is. They're going to hand it off to Parrish. Oh, Parrish is hit hard after a gain of 5.
Eli Parrish. Gain of 5 on the play, brought down by Peyton Cox.
It's a 14-point ball game. And Highland just has to pick up a couple of first downs and they can end this. Whitmer's the quarterback. Whitmer on the delay to Parrish, and he's met in the backfield and dropped for a 5-yard loss. See, Logan's going to take a timeout.
Good loss on the play. Third down for the Rams. Timeout Grizzlies.
Lang with another defensive play. We've called his name a few times. Kaimani Lang, the sophomore linebacker. You love to have a sophomore linebacker that's contributing. Well, Highland has been in control most of this ball game. Logan has kept fighting, and it's made it an interesting game to watch, and not all that unentertaining. Sometimes you get these, you know, couple score games and they're not all that fun, but it's been fun to watch Highland as they really execute well, and Logan's been scrappy. Let's call it that. I think they got something going on here at Logan. I think that they are a team that this year, as they get into region, Skyview's very good, Ridgeline's very good, Green Canyon, it's a good region, but I think Logan might be able to improve on last year. Whitmer running the screen to Durham. He's going to be short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and 3. Logan's going to take a timeout. See if Highland punts it.
Brought down by Jacob Tech.
Probably with a 2-score lead.
Down 3 for the Rams. Timeout on the field. Logan, I would like to thank the following sponsors: The Logo Shop, Breathworks, Joel Realty, Johnny O's Spudnuts, and Donald's.
21 yards on 3 catches for Durham, 9 yards on 4 carries for Durham, 12 of 16 for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns for Durham. Plus, he's been defending Jalen Sargent all night. Sargent's had 190 yards I mean, and I'm telling you that it sounds crazy to say Durham's done a pretty good job on him. Get somebody else out there, Sargent might have had 250 yards tonight. So Hershey's going to kick. Logan's not so sure. They do have somebody back. Is that Mason? I believe it is. The Sargent's going to play corner on the far side, and if you're Logan, you don't want to jump. And they are going to kick it away. Oh, what a kick. Oh, what a kick. Stay away from it, Grizzlies. Great kick. .46 yards, and it's down at about the 12-yard line. So the Grizzlies down by 2 touchdowns, 2:20 to play, and they're at their own 12-yard line. This will be the 45th pass play of the night for Logan. They go right down the seam, and it hits the back of the defensive back. Actually, it was the linebacker, I think. Hit him in the back of the shoulder. Trying to go down that seam. That's got to be a perfect pass. We saw a couple of those tonight, and there's a flag on the play, and it's on Highland. They roughed the quarterback again. I believe they did, because it was back where Pond was. Yeah, and it's another 15-yarder. I mean, they've been flagged for that multiple times tonight, and they still are coming after their pound of flesh. Pond and Kirk showing some courage standing back in there. 4-man rush. Pond unloads. Too tall. Gage Jensen, the intended target. 2:11 to play in the ball game. Wow, Bear River beats Box Elder 26-22. Came from behind to win that one. Here's the, near pick. They were trying to throw on that crossing pattern, get everything going one way and clear out underneath. Trying to get it to Mason. Mason Fulmer was looking at 6 points. Mason Fulmer, it says he's a sophomore. That's a sophomore. 27's a sophomore. 27 for Highland, according to this, is a sophomore. He's a sophomore like those Dominican pitchers are 20 years old. He might be a sophomore, but he started school when he was 13. I can't even imagine. That kid is put together. I mean, a sophomore is 14, 15 years old. I don't know if you can see him in your screen there, on your screen. No, he's just off the screen. He's the guy that just about made the interception, number 27. He is that kid's a big cat. He's a stud. There's a lot of studs on this Highland team. 3rd and 10. Driving throw is a little bit short of Sargent. He tries to snatch it up off the turf and can't hang on. 4th and 10 with 2:02 to play. Grizzlies have 1 timeout. Highland gets it back. They can just start taking a knee. Morgan beats Green Canyon 16-14. Wow. And Bonneville just exploded on Mountain Crest. It was a close game. It's now 42-14. That one's almost over. It's probably over by now. Pond throwing on 4th and 10. It's in the hands of his receiver, and it's knocked out of there by the defensive back. And that'll do it.
broken up by Mason Coleman.
For the Grizzlies. They kept scrapping, but Highland was too much for them. And Highland can just come in and kill the clock if they want. Let's see what they decide to do. They're going to line up in their regular formation. Whitmer is the quarterback. And Parrish is the running back. Parrish picks up a couple.
Hand off to Eli Parrish. Short gain on the play. Brought down by Dallas Esplin.
Whitmer hands it to Parrish again. He's going to be spun down for a loss. A 3-yard loss.
Hand off to Eli Parrish, dropped in the backfield by Kalmani Lane.
Lang again.
Play, third down for Lane.
It'll be third down and about 12.
Morgan 16, Green Canyon
I think
14.
Logan's taking their last timeout with 1:04 to play in the ball game. Logan with 404 yards passing tonight. 14 yards rushing for 418 total yards offensively. Right now, Highland has 215 yards rushing, 298 yards passing between the two quarterbacks, 513 total yards. Here's Whitmer looking for an opening. There's one there for a minute, but it closes down on a late flag.
Jack Whitmer with the quarterback keeper.
See if he got grabbed by the face mask. If it is a face mask, it's going to be a first down by a penalty. That's Bruce Allen out there, the white hat personal foul, face mask on Logan.
The call is face mask on the Grizzlies.
Well, the Grizzly defense hasn't been able to get off the field all night, especially on 3rd and long. And so that one almost seems apropos. So now, Highland looking at a victory formation. No timeouts for the Grizzlies. Highland, after that little run, now at 520 yards offense. The Grizzlies 418, 404 yards passing between their two quarterbacks tonight, but Highland with 298 yards passing and 215 on the ground. The Grizzlies with 2 turnovers that didn't help, and really one of them kind of a game changer. They're going in for a score that would have made it 21-14, most likely at the half, and then they get the ball back to start the second half. Instead, they throw an interception. Highland drives the ball down the field 65 yards, kicks a field goal to extend their lead going into the half at 24-7. And the Grizzlies kept fighting, but they just couldn't overcome a very good Highland team. 41-27, your final here at Logan. Highland drops the Grizzlies to 1-3. Highland improves to 2-1. Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it on the Game of the Week. We'll see you next time on the Valley Channel.